My uncle used to be my aunt. My uncle used to be my aunt. Okay, we sound good. We got Uncle Tony from Uncle Tony's Garage here from downtown. This one's titled, Is the classic car market dead or is this the calm before the storm? Bum, bum, bum. I, for one, personally love classic cars, and we're going to throw it over to Uncle Tony here from downtown, and we're going to have a good time.
1940s, 1950s, early 1960s cars, more antique, more niche type of thing. But the bigger classic car market, cars that can be used as cars, not just antiques, not just collectibles, but actually be used as cars. Well, that starts around 1965 or so. And while the generation that valued those cars from a nostalgic standpoint, because that's what they grew up with, they're aging out. The bottom line is that the cars from that era, and especially the high watermark, which was around 1970, so go a couple of years before and a couple of years after 1970, those cars have universal timeless appeal. There is nobody of any age group, of any demographic, of any economic status that looks at a 69 Mustang Fastback or a 70 Chevelle or a 71 Cuda and says, nah, that's my great grandpa's trip. I don't want that. No, those cars are desirable. What car was the star of the Fast and the Furious? It was a 68 Charger. Those cars have a timeless appeal. And today's generation of the kids that are out there with the imports and everything, they're biding their time waiting for all of us to drop dead so they can get their hands on those cars. They're universally beautiful, they're universally desirable, and they always will be. But nevertheless, I think the trends are going to change.
Well, I know the trends are going to change. Here's something I was actually thinking about because I really love classic cars. But here's something that I will say, right? Like, let's get out of the 70s, 60s, and 70s. Let's go back, right? Like, this is kind of, I want to say this stuff's almost dead, dude. Like, okay, I for one think this car is sick. What do you, Nestor? You think that's pretty dope?
I think it's disgusting, but in a good way.
Okay, but here's the thing: for $53,000, it's not that tight. You know what I mean? Like it'd be novelty to like pull up like once in a great while, but like any young person isn't gonna care to drop $70,000 on a Ford Woody wagon. Okay, let's be honest here. Like some of these are cool. A Ford Custom, 25 grand. I mean, it's cool, but most people that aren't 80 years old, 60 years old. I mean, you'd have to be at least 60 years old for this to be nostalgic for you. You know what I mean? You don't ever see these. And if you do see these, it's a 60, 70-year-old man driving this because that was their shit back in the day, right? I personally love classic cars. I do. Like right here. But here's something I want to point out. All right. The Chevy Nova, it's cool, but is it $129,000 cool? Nestor, do you think that's $129,000 cool?
Nah.
Well, let's be honest. Or this Benz. Would you rather a newer Benz for $44,000 or this old one for? It's a tight car. Don't get me wrong, but like this is a little insane. Look at this fucking car. Hold on. Look at this. It's cool, but is it $55,000 cool? That's what I'm saying. I mean, I would argue that most people would rather go. I mean, I know this Porsche is $84,000, but I'd rather drop 80 grand on this, which I think most younger people would, versus $129,000 on this Chevy Nova. Or if you want to take it all the way, $229,000 for a retrofitted Chevy Nova. I'm just throwing that out there. I could be tripping. I could be wrong. I could be crazy. But that's how I feel about the situation. And before we go back to Uncle Tony, like I got a 1985 Cadillac, right? And I know my regular viewers know that. You're probably tired of hearing about it. But this only cost me 10 grand. If this same car was $50,000, I'd be like, it's cool, but it's not that fucking cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's cool, but like 50 grand, like I don't know. I might have to go go cop the Porsche at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm really trying to say about that. Anyways, back to you, Uncle Tony.
Let's say the pecking order of desirability is going to change. So among your post-interstate era cars that can be used as cars today, I think that in the future, going forward, that the bread and butter versions of those cars are going to appreciate, while the muscle car versions of those cars are going to depreciate. The muscle car stuff will always be desirable, but I think that in the future, as time goes on, that the average person who gets into the classic car hobby, the classic car thing, I think they're going to be seeking their forever car, and that's a thing. Okay, so what we consider to be classic cars, I think it's going to change a little bit. I think the positioning is going to change a little bit.
It's definitely going to change. Like cars from the 90s and the 2000s are going to become equivalent to the 1970s. Like this would be considered a muscle car, yeah. This and this is retrofitted. This is all brand new for $229,000. No big deal. No problem. But like, let's be realistic. Let's be totally honest. With these kind of prices for like what this looks like, I mean, you could show up in a Porsche that cost a fraction of the price, or a Mercedes-Benz two-door coupe, and I think most younger people would rather that than a muscle car for $200,000. But I will say, like the Chevy Caprice right here, this OG John, which there is a market for this for $12,500, I think people could get into it. If this was $20,000, I think it might be popular. I think the pricing's got a little intense. I'm going to say that because I really like old school cars. But guys, let's be honest here. A Chevy Malibu, dude, this is like a muscly kind of car. Just let's get a glimpse of this for $60,000. For 60 grand, guys. That's going to have to come way down, dude. Way down. And you can't get financing on stuff like that. Maybe you can. Maybe a credit union or something.
Yeah.
Forever car.
Wait, let me ask Nestor. Do you care at all about classic cars, or would you rather just a modern day nice car?
Probably modern day, because
you want a Tesla.
Yeah, but that's ego.
No. But be honest. Like, would you rather a Tesla, or would you rather some of the shit we just looked at?
Probably a Tesla.
But I feel like that's most of your generation. Like, I don't think majority of you guys care, or they're gonna want like a Skyline GTR or some, something with everyone cares about how fast the motherfucker is now.
Yeah,
which I think has always been a thing. But
you know what I noticed? Some people that have a classic car too, it kind of catches dust in their garage.
Yeah, I drive mine,
and I feel guilty for the car. That's why I respect you.
Yeah, I drive the shit out of my caddy. Oh yeah. I'll steady drive that. Because I didn't buy it for resale value. I bought it because I'm like, I want to drive this thing. Like, it's dope. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's $60,000 cool.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of young people feel that same way. The car market's almost like the housing market. Except for a house, you could actually live in it.
Yep.
A lot of people live in cars. But I mean, you don't want to live in a 1972 Ford Studebaker. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I do think it's a real car.
Yeah.
So here's a trend that I'm seeing more and more of. Now, this is no secret to you guys. You're car people. You wouldn't be watching this channel if you weren't. So you've seen this coming forever, okay? But the average person, the normies, are starting to catch on. That literally everything built today is junk. It's all built to fail. It's all overpriced, overcomplicated. And once you buy into this, you buy into the new car thing, you become a slave to it. You can no longer just drop it off over at your cousin's house so you could, do a tune-up on it. You can't just bring it to your local shop. You can't do basic, simple services yourself. You're tied to the dealer. There's subscriptions for this. In the old days when your wipers stopped working, you brought it to your mechanic and he changed the switch or he cleaned up the ground on the wiper motor and sent you on your way. Now it has to go to the dealer and everything has to be reprogrammed and blah, 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 blah. There's no simple thing anymore. And people are waking up to this. And the planned obsolescence. They don't even hide it anymore. It's almost like they're being blatant about it. The CVT transmissions and the wet belts and the, oh, it's just.
Well, you know what's even crazier is I'm going to keep bouncing back and forth here, but something to think about, like something like this car here. The appeal behind this car, as long as it's a rear wheel drive, I can't talk. You could just drop the motor out so easy. Like my Cadillac, the 85 Cadillac was like, they said, hey, what happens if we make engines really difficult? Me and my boy Elon took it fully apart and put it back together, and it was a nightmare. But that's why a lot of these foreign cars, these like import cars, are very popular. They're easy to work on and change engines out. But that was the appeal with these. And that's a big reason why some of them are priced so much. Like that one Chevy Nova we were looking at. Like that thing's all new. This thing right here, this is all new. The engine, everything is completely brand new in here. Like, hold on. Let's just get a peek. Like everything's done. All of it. It's nasty, right? Like the interior's sick. That's nicer than your fucking modern day Benz for sure. But a lot of people don't really care about that. And this is basically a brand new car in an old car body. But newer cars, being able to retrofit it, I mean, they're nearly making it impossible. It's like having a computer. That's what happened. And that's the problem with the Teslas. That's how I feel about it. Like that's the problem with the Teslas is like, yeah, you could even, it's going as far as to where you could take an old car and make it electric. There are companies that are like popping up doing this shit. It's not like unheard of.
Yeah.
But modern day cars, that's what we're going to run into. Like, I don't know if the classic car market, who's going to want, be honest, who's going to want in 30 years from now, a 2010 Tesla Model S? I mean, maybe it will be a thing. Maybe things will never change. Maybe that's always going to be a thing. But let's be realistic. Who's going to want a 1950s car 30 years from now? I don't think many people are going to give a shit.
Nah.
Like, I don't see too many people rolling around in horse and carriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. Yeah. I don't see too many people riding around horse and carriage. Yeah. And horses cost a lot of money. So if the classic car market is dead, it's due to them pricing themselves into non-existence. Your non-running rust bucket, yeah, seriously. Even some of the shittiest cars, I'm going to actually go look that up by price point. Even some no engine, holes, there are holes in the car, guys. 20 grand.
Yep.
It's a vintage classic. Just the body, rusted out, sitting in the woods. $15,000. I'm not kidding. They are not selling you a vehicle. They're selling you a saddle. They are saddling you with a loan. Most of those vintage cars don't give you a loan. I mean, you could go through a credit union, but most of them, you're not getting a loan for it. And you just have to be rich to play that game. Like, how many people got that? I'm 19 years old, and I'm currently daily driving my 1954 Chevy. Wow. Okay, this guy is one of a kind here. All right. I think there will always be a little love for it, but the prices are bananas. That's what I want to look up real fast. You know what? Let's get into the thing. Let's get crazy. Let's go under 5,000. What can we get for under 5,000? And it's all lies. There's three options. The three options. You get a 1970 pickup truck for $4,000. Doesn't run, I guarantee it. Get this old Beetle punch buggy, right? Couldn't even give that away. But right here, the 64 Thunderbird, rusted out, $4,000. They're just selling you a shell. It's all rusted. It's going to cost you so much money to fix that up. But some of these, sometimes I don't have any examples to pull up for you, but like something like this, let's say it's a certain car, like a Chevelle or like certain models. It could be like this, and they're like 30 grand. 30 grand. That's what it costs. That's the truth. That's how far gone it is.
That blew my mind.
No, that's real, man. I didn't pull up any examples. I didn't realize we're going to be going that deep.
Crazy, okay? General Motors, we did a whole video about this. Have we forgotten how to build a V8? Almost a million GM.
Well, that was one thing he was talking about, the planned obsolescence, which he's absolutely right. And maybe that's why the old cars are worth so much money, because you can simply drop in a new engine,
Yeah,
make it electric, fucking do whatever you want to it.
seamlessly
Yeah,
too.
put a lawnmower engine in there, let it roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally though,
Yeah.
like that. I think that's a big part of it. Maybe why it is so expensive, because of how easily you could just. It's just a body. You could do whatever you want with it. You don't need to update your iPad in there. You don't need to go buy it because everything's a computer now. I mean, how often do you have to buy a new computer? I have to get one every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, probably for me 2 or 3 every
Maybe
2 years.
PCs can go longer, but you're still
Yeah.
going to have to upgrade it.
Yeah, there's certain specs that can be outdated.
Yeah, but
or
even
behind.
PCs, Macs, you're fucked. You just every 5 years just plan on getting a new
Yeah,
one.
and I think the Mac would be the Tesla
Yeah,
of
Mac is Tesla.
because once something happens to the Mac or to the Tesla, just throw it away.
There you
right?
go. And you can't like lease one of these old cars. And if you daily drive it, it's dangerous. Like I'll daily drive my caddy for like a week at a time. And there's times where I go to start it and I go, oh shit. I go, oh, come on, not now. You know, like
Yeah.
people don't want to deal with that on a
Yeah.
daily driving basis. They just don't. I know I don't. All right, this one's most replayed part.
Nope, ain't gonna happen. The manufacturers are happy doing what they do, and it's not even like they care about their customers anymore. So it's just private equity firms, and it's just shareholder value, and screw everybody else. The more you screw the average person, you know, let's not go there. And this isn't just cars. This is trucks, obviously. This is motorcycles. This is anything that's built today. It's all disposable crap, and people want the old stuff. So what does that mean to the classic car market? And we said the classic car market is a moving target. So by my definition, the classic car, not the antique, the one that isn't really suitable for use in today's world, the classic car era begins around 1965. And it goes to about 25 years old. So 25 years old is generally considered to be classic car. You get classic car plates just about any place in the country on a 25-year-old vehicle. So let's call it from 1965 to 2000. There's your classic car era. Current, it keeps extending itself. The bread and butter version of those cars, the ones that are practical, the ones that are known to have good reliability, that can function in today's world, that you can get parts for, and we talked about this before too, about looking for cars that have like a cult following, so parts and information are available for them. Those things are going to be sought after by the average person. I just saw a video, it was actually a very good video, and
Well, actually, when he was talking about like the newer stuff in everyday society is is a little shitty.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. Not everything, but like anything worthwhile, you're gonna have to pay up for. Even a cup of coffee, dude. Like you have to pay up for it, you know? But that's why the vintage market in general, forget cars for a second. Like this jacket's old, all this stuff behind me is old. I'm old. Nestor's on his way. But that's gotten big. And it's not just because like, oh, it's just popular. Even vintage furniture, not old, like, you know, this walnut, Victorian style furniture. I'm talking just like, older furniture from the 80s, 70s, even the 90s that's really built well. There's a lot of these shops that have opened up and even these thrift stores that were meant to be secondhand places that sell furniture. So you go in there, it's like just as expensive it's more expensive than going to IKEA. Well, because IKEA is a piece of shit and no one's going to rebuy a coffee table from IKEA in 30 years for more than they bought it for 30 years ago. It's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I think maybe it is a lot inflated, especially the classic cars. But there is a reason why it's not just popular, guys. It's there's a reason for it. Like a lot of my house, I have a lot of old stuff, and it's just built incredibly well. And a lot of it is stuff you can't see in this room. But my point is I have stuff where it's like this table, 30 years old, and it is, if I wanted something equivalent to that today, get ready to spend $3,000 or $2,000 at Restoration Hardware or whatever the fancy fucking luxury furniture store is. And that was basic stuff back in the day.
Mm.
So there is something with that. There's something odd with that. And that's going for everything. Forget just cars. I like new cars. I do. I think they're nice. They drive good. It's just there's a lot of moving parts in it to where once it does get 5 years old, 10 years old, I think the problems are going to get to the point where it's just like swap it out.
Yeah.
Throw it away. Get a new one. Trade it out.
You know what caught my eye? That old Nokia brick.
Yeah, get that.
Dude, you dropped this thing.
Oh, yeah, the old Nokia phones?
You dropped that thing from a 3rd-story building.
Oh, yeah.
It's still.
The old Nokia. But, like, here's the thing is this phone, like, this Nokia phone versus the iPhone, if this doesn't have service anymore, like 5G service, so it's like 1G or some shit. But if this still had service, I guarantee you this thing would still work just fine.
Yep. It
doesn't need updates. This is the classic car. But there's no service for it. There's still service for classic cars. There's still service for these things. I would rock this. If there was service for it, it would be on. It would be my burner phone.
That'd be sick.
I'm not kidding. I fucking would.
I'd call you just so you could pick up.
1,000% I would. This lens we're using is a 27-year-old lens. They don't even make anything like this anymore. Like, I guess they do, but this has a thing to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a weird feeling to it. I don't know how to explain it. And that's what classic cars give you. When I'm in my caddy cruising, red leather, whew, it's not even about how people are looking at me. It's how I feel in it.
Yeah.
I feel like I went back in time, something greater that I can't even buy today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing new is made like that. And that goes for all the reason why people have all this vintage shit and why it's so popular.
Yeah.
But, but is it worth $60,000? And the answer is probably no.
Go back to, long roofs. You go back to the 70s, the 70s, the 80s. Nobody wanted a station wagon. Station wagons were the least cool thing in the world.
The station wagon, dude. Oh, man. I actually pulled one up for you guys. I just so happened to have one up because I always had a fascination with the wood grain station wagon. I always wondered what happened to the station wagon, man. But like nobody wants to drive that. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be novelty. I think I would drive this. Maybe not in the yellow, but I want the wood grain, right? But how many people, if they made these today, who would buy it? Nestor, you buying that?
Probably not.
Probably not. So let's not even get started on the minivan. Minivans are like going extinct. Unless it's a Haitian woman driving it in South Florida. They're basically going out of business, the minivans. I mean, seriously. Everything's an SUV now. Which I get. I get it. People like them. Or maybe they think they like them. I don't know.
Tour era happened. And now station wagons are the most sought after of, that type of car. That era of car. So I see certain vehicles appreciating greatly and becoming recognized classics or forever cars as time goes on. This situation we're in right now economically is going to last for a while, and it's going to be really deep and it's going to be really ugly. But remember, life goes on, right? And people still have to get from point A to point B, and they still have their desires, and they still have, their need for transportation. That could be.
I would honestly say that Mustang style car, the Camaro, the Porsche, classic cars like that. I don't even know. I think personally, I want to say something bold, but I think some of those old Porsches from the 80s and 90s are ugly as shit. I don't even think they look good. I like the modern day Porsches, but like a lot of the Mustangs, the Camaros, the Dodge Challenger, those cars are basically just replicas of the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still hot as ever. I think some things are just timeless. I think they are. And maybe that's why Tesla, maybe I'm tripping, but maybe the Model S, you know, how they just haven't changed it ever since they made it. Maybe it's like, hey, we made something that's like, why even change this?
Yeah.
Let's just remake it every year. And they might be onto something with that.
The familiarity.
Yeah, and also maybe that's why SUVs are so big. Well, people seem to love them. Let's just make everything look the same, and people seem to like them. But like the Mustang and shit, let me look that up. But right here, look, that doesn't look too much different. This is an old ass Mustang. I mean, it looks different. Don't get me wrong, but in reality, this style of car really hasn't gone anywhere. And it's safe to say it's probably not. It's probably not going to go anywhere. Like, look at this. Personally, I would rather this top white one. Me personally. That's like a 68, or I think I'm like maybe a 65. I get my years confused. I'd rather this one, but daily driving it, unless you want to drop 50 grand to retro mod it and put everything brand new, you know, you can't really daily drive that. But right here, I'm pretty sure most people are like, if I have to pick a daily driver, I'll just go with the new one. They're both sick. Right? Am I tripping?
No.
But this isn't even the most desirable Mustang model. That's the cheapest one of the bunch right here, the white one. Because I actually like Mustangs. But, you know, now it's considered a woman's car, so I've just crossed it off my list.
In terms of classic car, forever car, I see the market contracting now more and more over the next couple of years as things get tighter and tighter, and these things get dumped on the market because people just can't afford it and they're afraid, and so they can't take risks on, you know what I mean? They don't have the luxury of an extravagant toy like an old car.
I would say Fast and Furious shit. Like the first Fast and Furious, second Fast and Furious. I would say those kind of import cars and stuff, the 2000s, the 90s. I think those will be equivalent to what the 70s, 60s, 70s cars are to the younger generation. And I think that's just purely from a nostalgic standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you could fix them up. You could do shit to them.
The 99 Skyline that was in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That was in the beginning ones. Dude, that car.
Let me look that up.
On video games. I saw a Lego of it in the stores recently. That Skyline.
The Fast and Furious Skyline.
Yeah.
With the blue.
Oh, man.
Should I just type in Fast and Furious?
Do Skyline, Fast and Furious.
I can't spell, but I'm going to try.
Yeah. This car.
This one. That's the classic right there. But this shit right here, you want an old one of these, you're looking at 100 grand for a 90s. Like one of these, you're looking at 100 grand for one of these. But I see this kind of stuff. That's going to be kind of the for the younger kids, or for people in their 40s and 50s when we reach that age. Yeah. I think that's going to be, and it's going to be more obtainable. It's going to be easier to fix, stuff like that. We resonate with it more, for sure. Because like even like something crazy. Here's what I want to show you. Like right here. This is crazy to me because I really fuck with this car. And they don't look much different than the newer Camaros. I mean, I think they look doper, but look at the price tag on this. $75K. Come on. Of course, you're going to give me the green. You're going to give me the green Dragon. You're going to give me a discount for 40 grand because it's green. You know, that's a bold statement driving a green car right here. You want red though? You want sex? 82 grand. 69 Camaro. Now, this body style holds up, right? But look at the prices. All in common. 85,000. 67,000. Oh, drop top, 62,000. It's a sick car. It's a dope car. It is. But, and I don't think these will ever go out of style, but like to keep the market going, I don't think the young kids are going to be just pulling up with $119,000 for the Red Knight. Yeah. I just don't see it happening. Or the Orange Stallion for 140 grand.
Oh, that thing is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm willing to bet it's resto modded. It's got a brand new engine in it. I'm willing to bet that. Like for sure, because these cars you could just change them out. You just got the body, you could put anything you want in there. And this car is sick. Don't get me wrong. I would daily drive this thing. Maybe not the orange. The orange is kind of cool on an old car. I think it's, but here's the thing: stick shift. How many kids drive stick shift? Not many. I could barely drive a stick. I know how, but I'm not good at it. But this is all probably brand new shit. All that. It looks new to me. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's see what Uncle Tony's got to say at the end here. Last most replayed spot.
It's always a pickup, older pickup, all of those vehicles are going to skyrocket in value. So if I was positioning myself in the future, I would be looking to create parts stashes for those types of cars, common cars, anything you could swap a small block Chevy into, anything you could swap a Power Glide or a Turbo 350 in.
Yeah, eBay is really big now. eBay's turned into like a goddamn motor car company. What was I going to say here? I think I exited out of everything. Those old trucks, though, I think trucks are big, but I don't know how big trucks are going to be. Through the comment section. I really like Uncle Tony. Give him a like. Make sure you subscribe to Uncle Tony, guys. Okay. 90s and mid 2000s was absolute peak automotive engineering. Just enough technology to make them really fun, but still simple enough with a ton of less proprietary coding that locks the rest of us out. Yeah, that's why we were kind of just saying with the Skyline and stuff, the 90s, early 2000s. I think that market's going to get big. I wouldn't doubt it. I really like the SL500, the Benz. It's a 2002 SL500. That shit's sick. Tupac's Benz.
Oh,
yeah, it's nice. It's a sick
nasty.
car.
Yeah.
But even a good one of those is going to cost you money. That's going to cost you. And then I don't even know if you're going to be able to rip the engine out, put a new one in. It's kind of funny how that works. But there's a special feel to them. There's a feel to this stuff, and I think that's why people will pay for it. That's the truth. Let me see. 1964 to 1974 will forever be the golden age of automobile. Yeah, I mean, we make replicas of them today. The modern day Camaro, the modern day Challenger, modern day Mustang are basically all just replicas, almost basically, of that era. I'm going to end on that note, guys. I'll leave the link to Uncle Tony down below, but I'm going to say there's always going to be a market for it. But I will agree. I think the younger, especially me, like I'm not buying a 1950s car. Like most of I wasn't around for that. I have memories of 80s cars and 70s cars. That obviously we've already talked about that. And I do own a 1985 Cadillac, but like it was obtainable, 10 grand. I think a lot of people can afford 10 grand. But even me, if I'm in the spot to drop 100 grand on a car, I'm buying a Porsche, dude. I'm buying the Porsche. Nestor's getting the Tessie. He's getting the Tesla.
No. That was.
No, I'm saying if you have the. I'm saying if you were in a position to where you could just buy $100,000 car.
Oh yeah.
I think most younger people, and when I say young, I'm talking 40, 50, even old people, dude, even 60-year-olds would rather the Tesla.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
But, I respect you because, a lot of vintage car owners.
I love classic cars.
It's like they still have it kind of like looking at it in a magazine approach where it stays in the garage and they're kind of paranoid to drive it.
I gotta drive it, dude.
So I guess the goal would be to become stupid rich so you could drive vintage cars in peace. Is that it?
That's the goal. We're hanging up. Uncle Tony from downtown Swish. I like that guy's channel.
Heck yeah.
Unreal.